This is Full Time with Max Bretos, and hope you had a great 4th of July. We'll start with the Women's World Cup. Was this a surprise?
No. This is my segment. It's not your segment.
My name's Max Bretos.
Hit the bricks. I know, yeah, but no. Sorry. Hit the bricks.
Okay, bye-bye.
Don't ever do that again.
Adios, people. Subscribe to Mythical Muffin Boy.
Do not subscribe to Mythical Muffin Boy. All right, get out.
Okay, goodbye.
I'm so sorry. Or maybe I'm not. Maybe you want to see that guy more than you want to see me. Don't come back here. Unbelievable, these kids. Sabotaging my YouTube. But it's for the kids, isn't it? It is. He's giggling like a little schoolboy. All right, I do hope you had a great 4th of July. As you can tell, I have. I've been heavily serving myself at the beach. Just a wonderful time. By the way, Southern California, 4th of July, as you saw in my last segment, you don't beat it. Sit there, having some cold beers, maybe a little tequilazo. Never hurt nobody. All right, let's go into it because there's a lot to talk about. We made a lot about this Sunday with 3 major finals. I love it. They're all staggered throughout the day. Not much you could do to be a productive day. Amazingly, I was able to avoid sipping beer. I have to be in toe step for this. Let's start with the Women's World Cup because it is a World Cup. Was this a surprise? No. The United States convincing, even more convincing than they were 4 years ago. This was supposed to be a World Cup for Europe. A song for Europe. A song for Europe under the shadow of Notre Dame and the Champs-Élysées. This was 5 European teams the United States beat on their way to cruising to a World Cup. U.S. was supposed to win, but was not supposed to see it done this easily. You know, I put together an all-World Cup team, and you have to include at least 7, if not 8 U.S. players on there. They were that good. The current generation, the young generation, excellent. You can take a much-deserved victory lap for the U.S. They deserve it, and they will soak it all in, I'm sure. They are soaking it all in right now to the victor to the spoils. But the big question is, will consumers watch women's soccer between World Cups? Because historically, they do not. We have seen some developments in the game in Europe specifically, and this is why it's very frustrating that France and the Netherlands and Germany were just, when the chips were down, they looked like the tired teams. They were supposed to be close to home and playing well. They looked tired. I was wrong about this. I said they would get stronger as the competition went on, and it was the U.S. that got stronger. So will consumers watch soccer football in between World Cups? Really, the best thing was for a European team to challenge, or it doesn't have to be a European team, a team to challenge the United States. Kind of what we saw with Japan there in 2011. That came and went. The U.S. needs a rivalry. You know why? They need teams to get excited because when they're filling their calendar, are people going to be excited to see them just run through teams? No. Are they going to be excited? I'll use a men's comparison. The USA playing Mexico. Are you going to get excited for that if you're a USA fan? Yes. Are you going to be excited when your German team faces France or Italy? Yes. Or whomever. Or Brazil. That's exciting. That's what makes the men's game a yearly tradition where the women need to see a breakthrough. And they didn't get that. I think there was some growth there. You'd be naive to say there wasn't any. But the USA wants to fill that out and get excited. You know, it takes 2 to tango. The U.S. are doing their part. This is not their problem. But if you want to see the game excel, that's what has to happen. Missed opportunity, if you ask me. They look more dominant. There was one development, I think, that came out prior to it, and that is the growth of the European leagues. And we have heard that the big clubs, Real Madrid, Barcelona, are going to invest more in the women's game and their women's clubs. Money means money makes the world go round, the world go round, the world go round. Money, 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 money. Cabaret. Great movie, by the way. Directed by Bob Fosse, who was, by the way, a real creep. I was watching this Fosse Verdon documentary. What a jerk. Anyway, but a talented jerk. So, with the investment of the money in the European side, and we've seen that with the Lyon, the champs of women, they have this super team. That's exciting. You'd like to see the USA play Lyon. See, that'd be a game I want to see. The NWSL is here in the United States, but if that investment continues in Europe, I would like to see some of the top American players go play in Europe. right? Just like the men's game. And we get excited about these big European games. Alex Morgan, Megan Rapinoe, Julie Ertz, Rose Lavelle going at the top European teams in these big lights where they are making progress. I really believe this Barcelona, Real Madrid, along with the PSGs and Lyons and what they're doing in the English League, that might be it. There's so much money in the sport there. So that is something, perhaps. I hope it happens. I like watching soccer. If there's more soccer to watch, I'll watch it. Right now, the way it's constructed, there's not much to be excited about coming in. All right, to the Copa America, the second game on Sunday, and they left their best for last. The tournament was pretty dull, boring, it was just ugly tactically, but the final was tremendous. First, hats off to Peru. They were the losing finalists. They gave the tournament a jolt by getting through the big names like Uruguay and Chile and getting another shot at Brazil, who beat them 5-0 in an earlier game. Good to see they're getting some new young players. They have the best manager in the world's game in Ricardo Gareca. And I think heading to the next World Cup cycle, Peru is a name you want to see. Because you know what they reminded me? They reminded me of Liverpool. Getting to loose balls first. Playing to each other. Just commitment from minute 0 to minute 90. Hard work. That's what Liverpool does. So I saw that with Peru, and that comes from the coaching. As for Brazil, they have won their first trophy in 12 years. That has to be applauded and has to be viewed as significant. They did it without Neymar. Neymar injured in the build-up. No fault of his own. But with this team, somewhat you saw in Peru, they do have big stars. They have, obviously, Roberto Firmino, Gabriel Jesus, and Philippe Coutinho. This beautiful young player that became the revelation of the tournament in Everton. And these guys all working hard. Casemiro, oh, what a beautiful player. Playing a game, a team game. Not playing through a star. This is the way the game's going. When Neymar comes back, yes, you bring him back. But there's different rules because this is the team that won it. And go, Neymar, you're part of it. Maybe he can fill a Coutinho role, but you're not playing through him anymore. This works. I don't even think this Brazil team really kicked it into a higher gear, and they won the tournament. Granted, they hosted it. Remember, this program hit really hard times. Remember, they finished, they didn't even make the quarterfinals of the Copa America Centenario. They got embarrassed in the 2014. Was it 2014? Man, it all clumping together. You know, the 7-1 loss to Brazil. To Germany. So this is Chiche, the coach. They have brought this thing back. And now the players have to play to him. Superstar players. Is it the route? Last 2 World Cups, France, Germany, collective teams with great players, but not having to subservient their way to one. Lionel Messi is another big superstar. The other big superstar, this doesn't apply to Cristiano Ronaldo because he's different. He's just great. But Lionel Messi and the progress from Argentina is getting worse. And I truly believe there is a possibility that he will call an end to his international career. The media gives him a lot of grief there. He's not producing. They're not producing. And this is the big issue. There are some young players coming through the ranks, and I'd like to see them express themselves. Juan Foyth, Tagliafico, who's been around for a bit. Leandro Paredes, who to me is the next big Argentine sensation. Herman Peselli. Gio Lo Celso. Let these guys express. Let Paulo Dybala have a sniff. You got to hit the reset button. Argentina, these are trying times, but there's hope with the young players. And Messi's part of it. He's part of that old guard. And this is ridiculous. I know you guys are going, this man is a lunatic. But it works. The collective, better than the one. Let the kids freely express themselves. It's a young man's game. All right, so the final game was the Gold Cup. Mexico beating the United States. Yes, very disappointing for U.S. fan, but there is progress being seen. The U.S. team better than they were at the beginning of the competition. Some players getting a run in a big-time tournament for something that actually meant something, where for a year and a half they played nothing that meant anything. It is a great 45 minutes from the team. Second half, Mexico really took over, and that's what has me concerned, because Tata Martino was a guy we were hoping to have as a U.S. coach. Part of the criteria to be the U.S. coach, according to Ernie Stewart, the new general manager, for lack of a better word, of the U.S. soccer program, said he had to speak English. I'd rather have Tata Martino. I think Greg Berhalter is a good coach, but I think Tata Martino is a special kind, and it would just so happen he was here on our shores, and there was a chance to have him. He made some changes that changed the game. The United States got worse. That falls on the coach's shoulders a lot of the time. I'm a little frustrated because this was close to the U.S. A team. Tyler Adams, a few other players will come in there. This is their A team. This is a Mexico B team. The best Mexican player in the world, Carlos Vela. I don't know if he's going to come back to Mexico. He's not there. Chicharito, I think, is a guy. Tecatito Corona is a superb player. Hector Herrera is one of the best at his position. He's going to be playing it for Atletico Madrid next season. Whew. There's going to be a better Mexico team. This was a chance to beat Mexico, and the USA missed it. And I don't want to get too greedy because we are starting from rock bottom, and we got off the bottom. We got off the snake's belly, and we're moving towards it. You know, in closing, when you look at all of this, the Copa America and the Gold Cup, the competition's not very good. It pales in comparison to what we will see next summer at the Euros, the Euro 2020, where several teams can win. The European game is heads and shoulders above everywhere else right now. See some nice developments from AFCON. You know, but USA and Mexico, if that wasn't the final, that would have surprised people. There were some surprises in Copa America because some interesting tactics, but the European tournament, I mean, that's the closest thing to the World Cup. I'm not crazy here. I know you can't say that about the Gold Cup, but the Gold Cup is so many miles away from the Euros, and the Copa America was kind of close, and now it's so many miles away. So there it is. Subscribe to my YouTube page. If you want to see more of Maxie, I know you do. I'll let him know, but I had to get him out of here because he's a troublemaker. But have a great week, everybody. I'll talk to you soon.